All right. So I'm just starting my day off here. It's probably about 8:30. I'm going to my first call. And I'm just going up there and verify if it's a TXV or Orifice and see if the evaporator coil is compatible with a new 410A system. I already got approved to change the condenser out. I need to make sure the evaporator is compatible. Other than that, I got a couple no cooling calls today. Usually by the end of the day, I get 2 or 3 more calls. I'm trying to run between 2 and 5 calls a day. That'll be good for me. One thing about this job, as far as the money go, you can what you doing here? Sometimes you don't know if you're gonna make $200 or $1,200, or $1,200 or $4,000 in one day. You think the day starting off slow, and here comes somebody calling and say they need their compressor or no cooling, and they got a bad compressor, and they want you to open up a store and get it changed out that evening if the supply house is closed. That's the kind of business we in. I probably got about 4 or 5 minutes to talk, but people ask me how do I get my customers. Before we keep going, let me talk to you about something that can seriously change your HVAC business. This video is sponsored by Jobber. If you're trying to grow your HVAC company, but you're still running everything off paper, spreadsheets, memory, you're making it harder than it needs to be. Jobber is an all-in-one CRM built for home service businesses. You can create estimates, schedule jobs, dispatch texts, send invoices, collect payments, and manage customers all in one place. From your phone, from your laptop, even when you're in the field. When I talk about growing your HVAC business, this is what I mean. Systems, organization, professionalism, and getting paid faster. So right now, you can get a 2-week free trial using my referral link in the description below. And when you sign up with my link, you'll also get an exclusive discount. So if you're serious about leveling up, click on the link below and try it out for yourself. And one more thing, next month, March 4th, 2026 is Jobber Summit. It's a free online event for contractors and home service business owners who want to grow. Marketing, sales, leadership, systems. If you want to build a real business, not just a job, you need to be there. I'll leave that registration in the link below as well. All right, now let's get back to growing your HVAC company. There's all kind of ways to get customers. The best way to get customers is word of mouth. Just get your name out there. I get a lot of my customers, I do a lot of warranty work, sign up with warranty companies, but you gotta just for the people that have their contractor license. You gotta have your contractor license. But YouTube, I got a bunch of customers off YouTube. I don't go out to get customers off YouTube, but a lot of people do find me and ask me, can I come out and take a look at their unit? Let me see, I got Google, SEO, website, a local chamber of commerce. I join them, and they'll put an ad in, say that, you know, that they put an ad in, and they tell the community that you know, washing AC and heating new to the community. So find your local commerce and start going to some of their events. It's like networking networking is good to get customers. Let me see what else. You know, I did the door hangers. I haven't had a lot of success with the door hangers, but I'm pretty sure they do work. I still got thousands left. I just since I've been busy, I just haven't been putting them out. I got money out the bandit sign, and in my city, Houston, I mean, you see bandit signs everywhere, but I know a lot of cities they may be illegal to do so. They may be illegal to do here, but a lot of people do them, and they don't really say anything. The people that cut the grass, I mean, they'll pull them up. I guess the city employees. But we have millions of people here, so if you put them out at the right time, and the city workers don't work on the weekend. But I have got, especially when I first started, like my first year in business, that's what I started with, because it's cheap. A lot of customers they may not be the best paying customers when you use bandit sign, but you know, in HVAC work, you're gonna charge it quarterly anyway. But if they call you and you come out, whatever you charge, a lot of time they're gonna go with you, even if it's just a small service fee. At least you let them know what's wrong with it, and you give them a good quote, they'll take your services. But bandit sign does work. I got a lot of customers that first year, and they still my customers. So even if I raise my prices, you know, that's my customer now. Even with the warranty companies, I'm gonna pull up at this house, but even with the warranty companies, especially here, a lot of new homeowners that had that warranty for a year. So I've been getting a lot of calls just out the warranty company that they don't have a warranty anymore, and but they know me, you know, I did good work for them, so they'll hire me. So hopefully those are my customers for life. Yeah, but there's a lot of ways. Just read stuff on guerrilla marketing. Get the guerrilla marketing book. I think it's actually called Guerrilla Marketing. I forgot the name of the author. And YouTube, you know, how to get customers. But like I say, the best is word of mouth. Because I get a lot of referrals to people. That's another thing with warranty companies. Even with a lot of people frown on warranty companies, but this is a warranty customer right here that I'm going to right now. And her neighbor seen me doing a condenser a while back. I think I was putting a fan motor on it probably about 6 months ago. Neighbor seen me. He wanted to meet. He said it wasn't cool. He had a leak. So I found the leak in his evaporator coil. So I mean, there's so many ways to get customers. Especially if you're a one-man show. Like I say, a lot of people frown upon warranty companies, but I love them. Especially if you're a one-man show. You get big, I can understand. You know, warranty companies, a lot of big companies, like big residential company right here called John Moore. I don't know if they do warranty companies or not. And 1 Hour AC, I know a lot of people probably heard of them. They got so much overhead, they probably got like 2,000 trucks. You know, so warranty company probably don't pay the greatest. But if you're a one-man show, they pay great. I ain't gonna say great, but you don't have that much overhead. Like I say, I literally really don't have any overhead. Everybody has overhead, but my overhead is minimal. You gotta look at like gas, stuff, insurance, stuff like that, that's overhead. So I'm always have to pay that. But those companies, they got large overhead. They got employees they gotta pay. They gotta pay insurance for the employee. Probably gotta pay health insurance. They gotta pay the uniforms. So the money that warranty companies paying may not be good for them. Let's say me on the other end, if I go change out a condenser unit in a warranty company, a lot of warranty, all of them don't, because I'm signed up with several warranty companies. But most warranty companies, if it's what we call a major install, let's say a condenser and the evaporator, especially if you get start now, and you can't just pay for a bunch of equipment, or you don't have credit with a bunch of vendors, and you just can't afford the equipment. So the warranty company is going to buy the condenser, buy the evaporator coil. That's a major component. So let's say the condenser costs $1,000. That's $1,000 that you don't have to, buy, or come out, or use your credit. Yeah, we'll talk about that too. You do want to get a line of credit, but you don't have to. If you just have a cash account, you don't have to pay for that condenser. They're gonna pay it for you. All you doing is coming and install it. And there's so many different ways, to get money, because don't get discouraged when you sign up for the warranty company and they say they're going to pay you $300 to change the condenser unit out. You're gonna be like, man, that ain't no money. How am I gonna get paid for changing the condenser unit out? I mean, how am I gonna make some money just getting paid $300 to change the condenser unit out? First of all, a condenser unit to me is very easy to change out, but you start adding different things to get the price up. So they're gonna pay you like $80 to recover the refrigerant. So now you're at like $380. In Texas, we have to use locking caps. So if you want to use locking cap, you can charge like $33 to put a locking cap on there. So now you're almost at like $400, a little more than $400. You're gonna charge it for a disposable, or haul away, what we call it, to dispose or take the old condenser unit to the scrap yard, which you're gonna get paid money if you know how to scrap the unit. The copper, you're gonna get money for that, but the warranty company's gonna pay you like another $100 just to haul it away. So now you're up to like $500. If the condenser unit comes, pre-charged, let's say with like 6 pounds of 410A refrigerant, you still gotta make up for the line set and finishing out the charge. So you might get additional $75 to $100 for the refrigerant. So now you're up to like $600 or $700. It may be a couple more things that I'm forgetting. Let's say the TXB. The TXB may not be compatible with the unit, so you got to go from like what I'm finna do to this unit right here. You got to go from a R22 to a 410A TXV or expansion valve or orifice. Even if you change out the orifice, you're gonna charge another $150 for that. So now you're up to like probably $800. I'm not keeping up with the math, but you see how you can start adding up. And it also pay you like $125 for line set flush. If you're going from R22 to 410A, you gotta flush out the line, and then you're supposed to mark up your prices like 30% for any material that you buy. So even if it's a little fitting